the game. There we go. Hello. Actually, I forgot to set up one thing. On. Updates in real time. So this is a ROM, an Ocarina of Time ROM. That's basically just Ace Attorney. This is literally what this is. And since I need time to work on the Link's Awakening PNG, I will be trying to find games in between or just do art streams probably, but I saw this on Twitter some time ago, recently, and yeah, just something different. Let me know if the game sounds fine, or if it sounds too quiet. Hello, Gypsy. It might be a little hard for me to play Link's Crossbow Training when I don't have a Wii. Nor do I have the game. Yeah, basically it's Ace Attorney if it was Zelda. Let me know if the game might be quiet now. Now the game might be a little quiet. Hold on. Alright. Got the week off to watch GDQ. Oh yeah. Alright, yeah. I did open the game just to make sure everything looked okay. I will read the dialogue. Yeah. Really cool. This looked really neat. I'm very excited to play this. I like Ace Attorney. This is perfect. It's so quiet. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one could have made such a blunder, princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. Oh my god. Wait, did the stairs get tea and you forgot? March 17th, 9:37 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. You'd think that after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. So why am I shaking? Ugh, I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Come on, gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Hyrule has a march and a legal system, apparently. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you, over there. Huh? What is it, attorney? Ooh, the trial isn't starting yet. But it will be soon, right? Would you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Wahaha, well, you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she is currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well. What? What is up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Not to worry. She will definitely be here before the trial. Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. But there's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? Ah, see? There she is. No need to get all worked up. Oh, it's on our court record. Can we look at it? Attorney's badge. Proof that I can stand in court as an attorney. I love that. Oh wait, is it a, oh my god, it's a medallion. That's so cool. Is something wrong? Did I hear you shouting? So much for looking professional. No. Don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malon. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castletown all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. If everything's fine... Why do you look so worried? Well, how did the investigation go? Did you find anything? Yes. The investigation. Found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. Kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. Probably just did that so we wouldn't have much time to talk. You believe in me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Of course I believe you. Well, of course I believe you. Of course I believe you. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of Father I carry around. I just can't believe he's gone. I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey. You know, that pictograph could be really useful for the trial. Hello? How so? Well, you look so happy together. I could present it to that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Well, here you go, then. Alan's pictograph added to the court record. She's the killer, get her? No, she would never. This is the most Link has ever spoken, I know. That photo is also 7 years old, Link. I know. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than a badge. Wait, shouldn't just be idly chatting. Childhood photo of Malon with her father. Wait, we can look at the profiles. Malon, age 27, my longtime friend and the defendant of this case. Malon, deceased, the victim, owner of Lon Lon Ranch, and Malon's loving father. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what exactly happened? I don't stand much of a chance if I don't know your version of the story. I understand. Unfortunately, there really isn't much to. The trial is starting. Defendant, attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright. Everything will be fine. The prosecutor has been playing me for a fool since this began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. You've been defending since you've been 10, Link? That's pretty intense. Hello. How much do we get paid for being in chat? Oh. You think you get paid to be here? That's funny. You think you get paid in those little space beans at the bottom? the thing. You know? Those funny things at the bottom. Look, and then you use it to buy items. I was thinking that this was going to be a haha spilled red sauce on himself. No, this is murder. This is murder. Yeah, they killed Mario. Hello, Prez. My name is Link. Yeah, I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years, so he's been defending since he's been 10. Don't know if that's legally allowed, but I guess in Hyrule anything can float. I've won my fair share of cases and lost some too, but this one is personal. I should have grabbed water. I did a lot of reading yesterday. Now I'm gonna do more reading. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save... Hold on. There we go. We're actually starting a union to cease? No, you're not allowed to. I deny it. Pokemon logic. Once you're 10, you're an adult. No, don't say that. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malon's life, I've got to find out who did this to Talon. Talon. He was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. Sorry. The damn owl's the judge? Yeah, you don't trust an owl to do judging in court. You know what? Out of context, that does sound bad. Yeah, it does sound bad. Court is now in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking? Pitting me against some pathetic kid. Pathetic kid? What gives you the... Yo, his animations are awesome. Still your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. Before long, the world shall know. He did the finger wag! He does the fucking Edgeworth thing like that. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you... The music's also pretty good. Like the remixes that they've been doing. Hello, Miss Kitty. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Now, this court has no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems ready as well, let's hear their opening statement. The opening statement shall also be the closing one. The girl did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. Also, so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you, you greedy little rat? I have something very important to tell you, Miss Kitty. Can I send you via DMs? Miss Kitty, don't just block that guy. Block him. Just block him. Make your life easier. No, Miss Kitty, you have to do capital N-O with the period. You have to respond like that to Prez. Maybe don't call the victim a fool in court, my guy. It's Ganondorf, he can do whatever. No, I'm banned. And she yelled at you. No. Period. Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like that. Ah, she committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. I do believe a little less commentary would go amiss. Bah. I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see all the damning evidence. Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man, hailing from the Gerudo Province. Apparently, he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades, all while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. I love that pose. This is not how objections work. Now I'm asking the correct questions. So Ganondorf, yeah, Ganondorf's always had a last name. Definitely has that look, at the very least. Who wears full armor to court? Very well. Please present your case to the court. Huh. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll let the detective present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand. Well, here we go. The first battle. I know Impa. She's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. Press needs to be neutered. How do you say that, Miss Kitty? What's Link's last name? Oh, he's sweating. Yeah, he's sweating. Link doesn't have a Link, Hero of Time. Alright, state your name and whatever it is you pretend to do. You never change, do you, prosecutor? And any possible change would be for the worse. Now, stop wasting time. Name and occupation. Oh man. Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division. True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking. You were just in time. Haha. The bowler hat were fucked. You were the one assigned to the case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? Calamity, that's a good one. Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement? I suppose I can do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Please go ahead, Detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lanlan Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom for sure. I have seen the man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods. White. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year. I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, Detective. When the Sheikah force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter, Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her as she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened. Very nice, then. Assistant? Keep that up, and perhaps you will keep your job. Oh, I don't thank the good detective. Oh, Prez, thank you. Thank you. 9 months. I don't think the good detective here has to worry much about that, given she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable? Ah, that would be because I have been assigned to this case by order of the King of Hyrule himself. The king himself assigned you? Doesn't happen very often, does it? You are correct, Your Honor. I am not usually involved in field work like this. This time, however, the king felt it was necessary because of who is involved. Who is involved? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the king? Well, as I said, Lanlan Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not what I meant. I imagine the king wanted the top investigators on this job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Order! I will have order! The royal princess Zelda witnessed the crime? Ah, and there you have it. This case rides on the princess's own words. To doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty. This is bad. I can't really object to that. Very well. If the princess is testifying today, it's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly what the defendant was, why the defendant was arrested. I like that it's all written in like the Hylian language. So cool. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. Dragmire. Oh my god, Dragmire. I said it right. All the evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. Alright, hold on. The judge. Jolly old man who has presided over some of my cases. Ganondorf Dragmire. Age 59. Prosecutor assigned to this case. Rude to others. Easily angered. Impa, age 34. Head of detectives assigned to investigate the case. All the evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, the defendant, and a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. Can we get the autopsy report? She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coordinator. Coordinator? Whatever. Here is what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. That does sound quite compelling. Autopsy report. Deep, irregular wounds made with a sharp metal object. Victim died of loss of blood no later than 8 a.m. Okay. Supposed murder weapon found in Malon's hand, clean of blood. Ranch inventory. A list of equipment on the ranch. Press save. Brakes, garden hose. Wow. This is just like the case that I'm doing in Danganronpa 2, where there's a list of stuff. It's so funny. Okay. Hammers, knives, wood saws. Okay. Oh, that does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene. Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness. Ugh. At this rate, they're going to paint Malon as some heartless monster. There is one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is it really necessary to enter into evidence, though? The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally, who did you take us for? Even though the workers handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it did turn out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. Hello, Bloodia. Prosecutor Dragmeyer kinda goes hard for a name. Yeah. So, what happens now? Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination. Ah, great. How does that work? Huh? Could you explain that? What you're going to be doing? Can't hurt to go over this again. Why not? This witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth through the individual statements by pressing A and B, or with the control stick. You'll just repeat it as many times as you want? That's right, I have to consider every little detail, can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. Reel them for info. Yep. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R to bring up the court record. The court record is basically a list of all evidence, right? Yes. I can open it as many times as I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting item, I'll press up to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I can not only present evidence, but profiles as well. Profiles. The court record contains a list of all people involved too. I can switch between evidence and profiles with R. If I need to review what's being said recently, I can also press start to see a history of messaging. Ah, I see. That makes sense. Is the defense done whispering? Sorry. If he's so upset about it, why doesn't he just press... That's actually funny. That's a good thing. The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. Ah, a waste of time. I sincerely hope you're not implying that standard court procedures is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmeyer. In any case, we're ready. Defense, please begin the cross-examination. Well, no, it's not gonna. Oh, I'm excited. Oh my god. The reason for arrest. We're gonna press. What makes you think she's the culprit? She's just about to tell you. Keep quiet and listen. Right. Sorry. Indeed. As I was saying. And just how did you do that? It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked at some other location, we'd expect a trail of it leading to the scene. Couldn't the killer have just cleaned it all up? Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at Lon Lon Ranch is not paved in any way. Cleaning blood off the ground would require disturbing the soil. Naturally, we found nothing of this. There wouldn't have been enough time to pull that off anyway. Likely true. Right. Sounds like the location of the crime scene is pretty firm. I'm not giving up yet. People. 3 people. Say? I guess that would have to be Mr. Ingo. Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you noticed she mentioned an alibi. Yeah, what's the alibi though? Indeed. Well, we're pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well, what is this alibi then? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments? Well, the worker Ingo was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that. Is that so? Surely he could have gone away from that one really quick little murder. Ugh, this wouldn't just be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. He'd have to have taken steps to hide his involvement too. There was definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree. Preparing shipment is a lot of work. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange them all into crates, finally load it all up onto a wagon. Usually I had to do it together with Father to finish before the courier arrived. The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were all fully loaded with filled milk bottles. So this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people all on his own? Isn't that a bit odd? Odd or not, he evidently did just that. Clearly, he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very inefficient. This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute with. Hello, Marcus. The defendant was found unconscious. Yeah, okay. Fallon fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her to wake for a long time. Eventually, we decided to administrating a healing fairy so she could be questioned. I guess finding the body was just that much of a shock, huh? Ah. Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she had merely found the body. In any event. Hello, Marcus and Satama. Been seeing this for a bit now. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this, and I thought it would be a good in-between while I'm working on the Link Awakening. Do you like my little judge stand that I took from the stock image site? From the little Japanese stock image site. I was too lazy to like make my own really quick. That's cardboard. Yeah, I made it out of cardboard. Thank you. All I had was cardboard. She's holding a weapon. And how can you be so sure of this? Look at the autopsy report. Deep, irregular bro, holding the weapon and getting your damn fingerprints all over it. Okay, deep, irregular wound made with a sharp metal object. The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. And as I've already mentioned, we also looked closely at all other sharp things on the ranch. Hello, Otto. This is such an unprofessional courthouse. Need to package something? You'll do that while watching? Have fun with that. We also looked closely at all the other sharp things on the ranch. None had recent blood on them. That still doesn't necessarily mean the saw was the murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hid the real one. Oh yeah? Prove it then. Show us the real murder weapon. Well, I definitely don't have any way to do that. Still, something bothers me about that saw. It doesn't have blood on it. So, you have nothing? What a waste of time. She sure is. We've known each other for years. Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. How curious. Perhaps you're just bad judges of character, both of you. No way. Just give me some time and I'm going to prove it. Do you see anything wrong yet? Well, usually it's difficult to find anything wrong with the basic facts of the case. That said, I do think I saw one small thing. Really? That's great. It sure is, because I've got to poke all the holes I can to find the princess before the princess gets here. Alright, holding a weapon, kill the victim. Prisoner found in Malon's hand, clean of blood. Huh. This seems like a very large oversight. I just want to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That's correct. That's strange. Considering how much the victim bled out, and how deep his wound was, why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? Huh, is that all you've got? Or have? Huh? Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold, the cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in futile— sorry, it was really funny to zoom into his face. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. If Malon was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene? Ugh. Hello, Belle. That's not allowed. You know, it's in Ace Attorney fashion that Edgeworth would just like pull like evidence, be like, yeah, nah, I'm proving wrong, here you go. Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Whew. Sorry, I had a hiccup. Unfortunately for her, yawn. It just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she just stumbled upon the scene. Hello, too cute. I heard this mod the other day. This is the first time I'm seeing gameplay. Yeah, I wanted to try this out. Ugh. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The court accepts the blooded cloth into evidence. Some orders of milk to lift the ranch. After the crime. Found cluttered but clutched by Malon at the crime scene. Supposedly she wiped the saw clean with this? What I missed? So we kind of just started. Basically, it's just like Malon's dad is dead. And they suspect her as murderer because she was fainted at the crime scene with a saw in her hand, and it was Zelda that discovered the crime. So, we're trying to solve the case. So, what's the story with this cloth? Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that the part of the fence around the horse padlock was damaged. Not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a little bit too rowdy, you know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open. Oh, goddesses, are you okay? Well, it wasn't that bad. It didn't bleed quite a lot, though. So I used that cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going into the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence. Ha! A likely story. And impossible to verify now, of course. The Sheikah Force had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She is one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of any wound on her hand. Oh ho. Yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand with a gravel and one took the pain off immediately. Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. But, dang it. Too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth. Too bad this isn't the 20th century and this is like medievalish. I do believe this matter has been settled. I am ready to call my next witness. Uh-oh. Is that all I can get out of her? Super Mario is dead, Malin is a suspect, Ganon's being a dick, all in all. Yeah, basically that's a good way that we are, that is basically a good way to sum up the case right now. I like the sweat dropping, yeah, it's pretty good. So, do Link and Ganon have the same tension that Phoenix and Edgeworth have? I don't know yet. I sure hope they do. What am I playing? I just looked at the screen. I am playing a ROM of Ocarina of Time. It's a ROM that is supposed to play like Ace Attorney. Basically is what I'm doing. This is kind of my little in-between for Ace Attorney, Zelda Zummer. While I'm in the process of making the Link's Awakening PNG. I'll probably do some art streams in between before we start Link's Awakening, so I can obviously have time to work on it. And then, yeah. Uh-oh, is that all I can get out of her? You've served your purpose, Sheikah. Begone. Fine. But you had the best... But you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons. Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude would be nothing but comfort. Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion. They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order! Order! I'm sure will treat the princess with utmost respect. You may step down, detective. This case has already made me weary with all this pointless jabber. The time is ripe to deal with the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand. Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Ah, Your Highness. I believe we're just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It is quite the honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Ah! In the fence? In the face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Wow, okay, Ganon dork. Name and occupation, now! Prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish not to waste any more time. We must employ proper procedure. Oh man. It is alright, detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all equals. On this stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. How Ganon isn't given to the gallows after this regardless is nothing short of a miracle. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed. I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. You flatter me, prosecutor. Now then. I believe I was asked for my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current princess of Hyrule and heir apparent to the throne. Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would like to know, why were you at Lon Lon Ranch to witness this terrible incident? It is simple, really. Lon Lon Ranch is Hyrule Castle Town's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch also equips Hyrule Royal Guards with the finest of horses. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill and to assure the equality of the steeds. Wow, I didn't know your horses were used by the Royal Guard. Yeah. We work hard every year to make sure they're in the best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners. Huh. Knowing Talon, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate that the ranch may no longer meet the Crown's highest standard under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. Oh my god. I was like, what is that noise? It's the ice cream truck. Oh my god, that scared me. I was like, what is that horrifying music I'm hearing in the background? Do you know your best friend's importance? Ice cream? Yeah, the ice cream truck. We are looking for one. Naturally, those standards are quite high. Yes, yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of the incident. Okay, do we have Zelda? She's 14. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wait, is she like a kid? I couldn't tell. Her hair to appearance of the world. Okay. Now then, please. Poor Zelda, 14 years old, witnessed a murder. Can we get some? Can we get some? Can we get some? Yeah, well, what kind of ice cream do you want? What kind of ice cream do you guys want, hmm? Yeah, Link's older than Zelda. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of the incident. Very well. Here I go. I'll take the Sonic that looks nothing like Sonic. I like cookie dough, okay? Okay, we got Sonic Pop and cookie dough. You want vanilla with sprinkles, okay? The scene behind the door. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 a.m. accompanied by my royal guards. Alright, when did he die? No later than 8 a.m. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiled. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. Girl, you did not witness the murder. I was overcome with fear, and I screamed. I will never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I could not believe she would commit such a horrible violence. Are you taking orders right now? You want chocolate? Oh, too late, press. I already ordered for everybody. You're too late. What? Oh my, you saw the very important moment the victim was killed? There you go. Decisive testimony. As there is no need to doubt the princess's statement, I call for the judge to make a ruling right away. Hey, now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet. You think Link's actually, like, talking? Like, do you think we're just translating what Link's saying and he going, ha, yeah, ha, like, the whole time? This is just a translation of what he's actually saying. You're fighting hard to not fall asleep right now? You're gonna fall asleep during a Crag stream? That's kind of rude. It's kind of against store policy. Ganon was not happy with that answer. Game looks so hilarious, by the way. Yeah. You haven't, fool. Because, you haven't, fool, because there is no need. Did you not hear one word what I said? Didn't you just say we should follow all the procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? This is the defense's right. You complete... I believe the defense has a point. They do not have every right to perform a They do have every right to perform a cross-examination no matter who is testifying. I was quite looking forward to this part myself. I have only ever read about court proceedings in the royal library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations towards the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. How am I going to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end. What's gotten into the prosecutor? That seemed like a rather intense outburst. Well, I do have a guess. Oh? Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony. That might mean that this testimony is a surprise even to him. This could be my chance. Before we begin, there is just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene. That would be this, I presume. Why, yes, that is exactly it. What is that? Oh, this is the bottle of perfume that father intended to gift to Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out of town to get it at the last moment. We didn't know that the princess was coming instead of the king until only about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not need to bother himself so. As fascinating as this all is, the prosecution doesn't believe it's relevant to the case. It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle to be accepted into evidence. Ah! Desperate to latch onto every little thing, are you? Whatever. You can add it to the evidence if it'll make you happy. Your eyes are getting heavy. Each moment that passes, you're getting more sleepy and sleepy, reaching the depths of eepy-heepy gleebies. Yeah, but if Prescott falls asleep, he gets fired. No skin off my teeth. In that case, the court accepts this bottle into evidence. Now then, defense, begin your cross-examination. The scene behind the door. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by my royal guards. If these guards were with Her Highness, why were they not called as witnesses? We did question the guards, naturally. Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant. I was the only one to enter the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, I stood guard and insisted that no one be allowed inside until the Sheikah force arrived. I have read that preserving the scene is vital. Quite correct. I'm sure the guards were absolutely thrilled with this order. Please proceed, witness. I'm being surprised how quiet everything was. Have you conducted these royal visitations in the past, Your Highness? Ah, no. This was my first one. Up until last year, my father was always the one to visit Lon Lon Ranch. However, he decided I had to start preparing for all the royal duties that await me, and so I was just to do it this time. You did doubtlessly perform admirably as ruler when the time comes. What happened when you got to the ranch house? And what then? Stop interrupting and let her get to the point. Defense. I believe I was clear about not badgering the witness. Brat, I need to calm down. It was mostly empty. You paid attention to something like that after seeing a murder princess? Well, I spent a rather long time in there waiting for the Sheikah force to arrive. Plus, that bottle is quite beautiful. It just stood out. I loved looking at the dead body. You were there at the exact time of the murder, Your Highness? That is correct. That's impossible. You're lying. The defendant will curb her outbursts. You're addressing royalty. This is really bad. What now? Ask about the crime scene. Ask what was outside. Accuse Zelda of the crime. Where were the victim and the defendant at this time? The ranch owner was in front of the little table that is directly across from the entrance door. The defendant was right in front of him and quickly fainted after her attack. A large pool of blood started forming where the victim was. I had a rather good view of this whole scene. Right. It is as unfortunate as it is fortunate that you could see the whole thing in such detail. Now, please continue. Should I ask something else? Ask what was outside. Are you sure there wasn't anyone else at the ranch, Your Highness? No, the place looked empty. Although, I did later see a worker pull up a loaded wagon when a courier came asking about milk shipments. He caused a little bit of a scene when the Shikafor started inspecting it. That worker must have been somewhere else on the ranch, I suppose. The ranch is pretty large. Said worker was inside a building on the other side. It's quite understandable she wouldn't have seen him until later. Rat, this really doesn't give me a whole lot of work with. Should I ask something else? Overcome with... Oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Are you sure you got a good look then, Your Highness? You didn't look away in panic? The princess was very brave to take control of the situation the way she did. There is no need to doubt what she saw. Ah, yes, I suppose what she did was admirable. If only we had arrived earlier. Your Highness, don't blame yourself for this. If you'd arrived earlier, you could have been the one that got an attack. Ah! So you would have lashed out at anyone trying to stop you, huh? Despicable! That's not what she meant, and you know it. Princess, please go on. Very well. Accuse Zelda of the crime. Well, if you were there alone, how do we know you didn't do it? Accusing the princess? Pathetic. Defense is truly grasping at straws. You fool. You think a child could overpower a grown adult, one who does hard manual labor every day? And besides, why would the princess even want to take the life of a measly ranch owner? And not just any ranch owner, one that the crown had a most successful business relationship with. Idiotic. Simply idiotic. Well, maybe the crown wanted the ranch for themselves. Has the defense lost their mind? Cease this line of questioning immediately. Perhaps a penalty will disabuse the defense from further unsubstantiated accusations. No, it's fine. No? Then perhaps the defense wants to bid farewell to their head. I hear traitors are dealt with swiftly these days. Gulp. I extend my most sincere apologies. I don't know what came over me. Nonetheless, I believe a penalty is still very much warranted. Well, that was a stupid thing to say. There is definitely something off about her statement, though. Rest your heart, Your Highness. Know that Malon didn't do this. What nonsense. Her heart? What do her organs have to do with anything? Oh, of course. Evidence and testimony be damned just because we feel the defendant must be innocent. Oh, well, sure, then I declare today's verdict. Have you gone senile, old man? It was a joke, much like the argument the defense has been presenting. I can't believe the princess would lie like this. Yeah, it really is shocking. I don't believe her, right? Even if she's the princess, that means nothing. I didn't do it! Trust authority or your best friend. I'll need something very concrete to disprove what the princess is saying. Oh, it's definitely the statement where she's like, I saw it! 'Cause she did not see it. I'm gonna assume it's this because the time that the murder apparently took place. Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts. How dare you question the princess? You will let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think I see why you so desperately wanted to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 a.m., correct? Yes, the visit was scheduled for 8:30 exactly, but we were quite a bit early. I see. That makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim definitely died before 8 a.m. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived, because the victim was already dead by then. Order, order! Yes, you've really caught her in a lie. Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? While I wholeheartedly respect and serve the crown, I will nonetheless not tolerate lies in my court. I have not lied. I suppose I did not see the exact moment it happened. I guess I only thought I did. Princess, this is a matter of life and death. I definitely saw the defendant there, though, along with the body. There is no one else who could have done it. I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor, the pool of blood. You have to believe me. Perhaps it'll be best if Her Highness revises her testimony. Ugh, not good. There's still not enough doubt to overturn testimony. I'll have to find something else, or this case will be over. You're literally the judge? Holy shit. I'm so honored that you're judging this. Who do you think is guilty? What I actually saw. I am sorry for embellishing the truth a little bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Malon and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. Whichever side is the most woman. Well, I'm the only one with a woman on my side, so I see. You only saw the aftermath of the scene, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's your time to cross-examine. Naturally, Your Honor. Dragmeyer still looks pretty angry. Didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the prince's testimonies would become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. What I actually saw. I'm gonna keep pressing. It's very Ace Attorney fashion. Why did you do that, Your Highness? There's a life on the line here. Sorry for yawning so much, oh my gosh. I really am sorry. I suppose I got a bit too excited about being a witness in an actual murder trial. Zelda watching too many, listening to too many true crime podcasts. Death penalty, to who? Really now? Most people hate testifying. Yes, well, life of a princess is rather boring, you know. This is quite the break from the routine for me. Should just get a hobby then. I did not see the actual moment of the attack. In that case, it can't be conclusively proven that the defendant did it. Defense, did you exhaust your singular brain cell in that last contradiction you found? There's a death mountain's worth of evidence pointing to the defendant. Just because no one saw the actual moment of the crime doesn't mean anyone else could have done it. I think you're making a death mountain out of a death molehill. What was Zelda's hobby? I have no idea. How can you be so sure of that, Princess? Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body. What? No, he did not. It is obvious what that means, is it not? Taylor did not even have enough time to try to hide the weapon. Yes, I might have not seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so. Oh my. This seems like a very important detail. I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to admit her testimony. Certainly, Your Honor. Interesting. Dragmeyer certainly doesn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. Spider-Man was still stuck into the victim's body after all. That doesn't necessarily mean that my client was the one who do it, though. What if someone else snuck in before Malon and the princess arrived? Well, I suppose... Lon Lon Ranch is surrounded by high walls, and the only way in is through a self-locking gate. Not very many people have a key to that gate, just the personnel and the crown. Well, someone could have forced their way in. Bah! If you wish to propose such a possibility, you must substantiate it with evidence. Do you have any proof that another person showed up at the ranch house before the princess? Do I? Do I? No. Ugh, have anything of the sort. There must be another angle I can attack this from. Very well, witness. Since the defense has wisely chosen to stay silent, please continue your testimony. Malon and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she is the culprit. Are you sure Malon was the only person there, other than the victim? From what I recall, there's an upstairs room at the ranch house. What if someone was hiding there? Don't be stupid, defense. If someone was hiding up there, the Sheikah force would have found them. I stood guard at the door the entire time. No one could have left. What if they jumped out a window? Do not be ridiculous. Those windows are very high up. Actually, those windows can't even be open. They'd have to break one to leave. Right. Your Honor, my client would like to invoke his one and only take back for this murder. Yeah. Can we just call this a little oopsie poopsie and call it a day? Well, this is a little more plausible than the last testimony she gave. Yes, I suppose it matches the detective's account, doesn't it? Still, I feel something here sticks out like a sore thumb. The weapon was sticking out of it. Does not match the autopsy. It was found in her hand. I believe I found another reason to doubt the witness's words. Ugh. It seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. If the princess saw the blood, saw the saw. If the princess saw the saw. Saw the saw. Hello, Dawn. Thank you for the raid. That was art. How was it? The princess saw the saw. Saw the saw from Saw. Struggle. Okay. But it's okay. The game is cool. It is cool. I'm enjoying it so far. I despise when a word is used more than once in a sentence. I know. So. But yeah, we're solving murder. Obviously, I know you know this VOD, but for anyone that doesn't know, this is a ROM of Ocarina of Time. It's Ace Attorney. Plays like Ace Attorney. Inspired by Ace Attorney. But yeah, I like it a lot. So far. If the princess saw the saw lodged into Talon's body, the crime scene was left intact. Then it couldn't have been wiped. Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, my bad. Dragmire, care to explain? How many krill does it take to screw in a light bulb? A krillion? I like how the auto mod did not like the word screw in. This is most perplexing. Your Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Well, maybe the princess decided to pull the saw out in a valiant yet futile attempt to save the victim, and then wipe the blade clean. That would be almost like framing the defendant. Of course I did no such thing. I made sure the crime scene stayed intact. Guess I must have made up the memory about the saw sticking out of Mr. Talon as well. Unreliable. Unreliable. 14-year-old. Unreliable. A child. Zelda pisses me off in this. I mean, yeah, we gotta have one unreliable witness. Let's be real. What a stupid fucking thing to suggest. I know. So stupid. Yeah, she's a hashtag unreliable witness. Yeah, even Link. Here. You idiotic girl! Why is Ganondorf's name Dragmire? Sounds like the name of a fusion between a dragon and Quagmire from Family Guy? I don't know. But that's just his last name. Ganondorf Dragmire. I mean, a 14-year-old seeing a brutal murder would probably remember things wrong. True. True. Automatisms sometimes like the word piranha because it can be referred to as promiscuous woman in the Brazilian Portuguese. Interesting. Well, I learned something new today. Getting really trying to get that candlelit night in the dungeon after all. Yeah. Straight to the gallows. You even realize what you've done through your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand as a witness in court, just as what I told you. She's listened to too many true crime podcasts. Whenever I tried telling my father about anything, he always seemed so disinterested. Just once, I wanted to feel listened to. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. Just wanted to play a larger part in her capture. So you lied. Not very princess, you know, not very, like, you know, pretty bad to do that. That is kind of sad. It's very sad. Oh no, it's not kill her. Let's just, you know, tell her don't ever do that again. Don't lie. How about you just tell the truth, girl? It's not that hard. I am sorry for all the trouble I've caused you all. The fucking silence. Your Highness, the court has no place for silly games. Yeah. Unreliable witness. On to the next one. Get her out of here. Shoo. Thank you for the follow. Can we ground her? She's like 14. True. My dog is snoring. I mean, you guys can't hear it, but... yeah, snoring away. As it stands, I'm afraid we will have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Damn. Damn. Yes! I did it! The prosecution lost their key witness. I think she kind of like so I don't think she like was like blatantly lying, but she definitely like made up some shit. I don't know if she's like misremembering, but she definitely did, like, because she was like, I walked in when the murder happened, and she did not. And then she said, I saw the knife come out of the body. Now, she could be misremembering that, because, you know, she did say that the only thing she really focused on while she was guarding the crime scene was the bottle. So... yeah, she made yes. Inferences based on what she saw, basically. Yeah, she basically was just like, yeah, I saw it happen. It's like, no, you didn't. But yeah, pressure with a hydraulic press. No, remove her from Smash. I like this the Zelda model though that they made for it. Wait, please no, I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterwards. Oh, great. Why would we care about that? It's best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy. Even if you are not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found. What? No. We love it when the witness you know, just pulls evidence out of their butt. Huh? Evidence? Of course. While the Sheikah force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Zelda! You can't do this! Why is everyone hiding evidence exactly? Like, what the fuck? Tampering with the evidence, yeah. She's tampering with the crime scene. How is she not in jail? She's the princess. She can get away with it. I still hear that ice cream truck. Okay. Zelda, sweetie, what the fuck are you doing? Second round for ice cream? Yeah, everyone tell me your ice cream order. We'll get some more ice cream. Of course, while the Sheikah force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Being 14. And she's being a typical teenager. Sheikah, do you know about this? Of course I did. You did? I'll have your head for this. A coffee double stack? Order, order! What is the meaning of this, detective? Why have you withheld this from the court? It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her finding on her own. What? And you agreed to this? This court is not some playground where children decide that evidence should be presented just because they have a crown. He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmire on this one. I also don't really buy this story. There's no way Impa would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be at all important to the case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun. Damn, shut her down. This is highly, highly irregular. How to feel about this? Prosecutor? Ugh, naturally I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's still clear she did it, even without a witness at the scene. I see. Defense? What do we do? We object to presenting the evidence, and Dragmire loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case, too. So we should agree with the prosecution? Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. Could be our only lead left. Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely, you won't throw away all the progress you made thus far. What do I do? Ignore the evidence, request the evidence. I think we should request it because it could be relevant. You never know. Yeah, this is like basically just like, how much can we fuck Ganon over? Really hope this is the right choice. Defense requests that the evidence be presented. What? While I agree that the situation is irregular, we should still examine all evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is. He's got a point. I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, the princess's statement that she found it somewhere away from the scene has to be admitted as testimony. Yes, Your Honor, I am well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance. Of all the idiotic, foolish... Order. Very well, then. Your Highness, please testify once more the new piece of evidence you found during your own investigation. I'm gonna get some water when she starts her next test. Thank you. I will not let you down this time. I promise. The princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand now. I just hope this new evidence isn't damaging to our case. Hello, Glacy. Fucker, you pulled a bloody claw out of your ass. Get over it. Yeah, Ganondorf did do that. I mean, Edgeworth does the same thing. Alright, let me, BRB really quick. I'll be right back. happened to me? There we go. Alright. Okay. Water has been drank. Alright, let's listen to Zelda's testimony. Ah! I wish to express my most heartfelt apologies for my mistakes in the earlier testimony. Upon entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance of this ranch house until the Sheikah force arrived. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the stillo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop to see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby and a small, nearly empty bottle of oil lamp. I, of course, took the bottle straight from the of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. Am I okay? What was that? Oh, it was me dropping my little whiteout thing. My whiteout pen that I have. I dropped it. Like I put my phone near it and it fell. This is the first time you've seen my Be Back Soon screen. It's really good. Thank you. My friend Eager made it. And here it is. The oil bottle I found. Is something wrong? Oh no. This might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well. Of course there is, foolish girl. Oh shit. Of course there is, foolish girl. That has nothing to do with anything. Your great finding is some random fire on a ranch? Please. What next? Are you going to declare every rake on the premises suspicious? Wait, actually, no. That is important because... wheelbarrows, water. Oh, never mind. I thought bottle might have been here. Would be important. Eager shout out. I remember Eager from the stream where doodles were being drawn. There was one where Kiku from One Piece was working for TurboTax. Yes. Yeah, Eager made my BRB screen. She also made my emotes that are my dog. She made those ones. And obviously the rest are made by Dawn. I have some that are made by Stubby as well. So yeah, they're my friends. Yeah, those ones that Cyber posted, those ones are made by Eager. Bottles shouldn't be there. What's next? Are you to declare every rake on the premise suspicious? Well, the prosecution will calm down. I thought he almost said clam. I'm really bad at reading, guys. This is bad. Your Honor, I also was playing some Danky Grandpa yesterday, Danganronpa 2, and I was reading out loud because I was playing it with someone else, and I was reading out loud. My throat hurts, I think, a little bit from reading too much. I forgot he also made these. Yes, he made the Craig jump scare and the Mallow smile face. Yeah, those emotes are great. I love them. I love them all, to be honest. I need more emotes. I have some. It's open slots. I'm just really bad at coming up with some of them. But most of the time when I pop ideas over to Dawn, he kind of gets what I'm cooking. Get some honey and tea. I just need water. I'm just thirsty. Also, you know, I just came back from vacation. I had the worst headache the entire time. I don't know if it was my allergies or what, but oh my god. It was like, I don't know what happened, but it's okay. I feel kind of better now. My headache is kind of going away, and I think because it's like, I think it's supposed to rain tonight, so I think my allergies are hopefully gonna calm down after the rain. Those ones are beautiful. What the hell is that actually? Cold. Oh my god. I always love seeing other people's varying reactions seeing the gobbler emote. I know. The spinning one and the eating one. The spinning one I didn't ask for. That one was just gifted to me. Dawn was just like, here you go. And I was like, holy shit, this is the best thing ever. The eating one, though, I requested because, you know, I think it's just appropriate. Very appropriate. Very, very on brand of me. But the spinning gobbler is just, like, perfect. Despite the fact that this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to a cross-examination. I choked on my words there. Some straws have been grasped. Why must you insist on this charade, defense? The princess has merely recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statement. I believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence into the case. Ridiculous! Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into the evidence. I just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense, for both your own sake and your client's. It better not. My findings. There's no need to press the princess on her apology. You already wasted the chance to throw out her testimony. Yes, defense. Please get to the point. Yikes. Was there anything else in the room? Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house was rather barren. Most of our things are on the top floor, since the downstairs room is mostly used for ranch business these days. And the occasional game. Ah, of course! That's famous Kuko game. The good old days. Is the defense done reminiscing? There will be plenty of time to do that when the defendant's behind bars. I was just trying to distract myself from the fact that there's nothing to latch onto here. Did anything happen during that time? No, not that I recall. The guards did occasionally protest and asked me to let them take over, but I held my stance. While commendable in theory, staying in the same room as the dangerous killer isn't very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you? Sweet Hylia up above. That thought did not occur to me. Ugh, of course not. Foolish girl. But the guards did stand close by. I would have been safe. Wonderful to see how much faith our princess has to a royal guard. Yes, of course I do. In any case. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. You didn't just go home? The royal visitation was supposed to last a lot longer. Father was not expecting us back at the castle until much later. I came to the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose I could at least do that in the meantime. How long did it take the Sheikah to arrive at the scene? It does not take very long to make the trip from Hyrule Castle Town to Lon Lon Ranch. I cannot imagine it was more than 20 minutes. That is pretty fast. Although, I imagine the fact that the princess was involved helped speed it up. Slow pokes! I would be there in half that time, running backwards even. That's actually a pretty funny reference. I suppose it's not surprise though, Hylian horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds. The Gerudo buy horses from our ranch too, just don't bother. He's trying to rile you up. Ugh. 20 minutes walking or side hopping? They're doing the backwards. Like where you like lock on, you walk backwards. While I was walking near the stillo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop where it was coming from. What was the smell like? Oh, it was awful. A really terrible stench. Bah! Surely you don't mean to say that you found the smell of the horse manure suspicious. Do not be ridiculous. The smell was not coming from the horses. Followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby and a small, nearly empty bottle of oil lamp. I was trying to burn something. A fire, huh? Now, let me remind you, Defense, that there is any number of reasons why a fire could have been there. You can still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morn. Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it? Ah, right. There was still smoke rising from the ashes, so it must have been out, but out recently. So around the time of the crime. So somebody prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, this fire is irrelevant. I think he's realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit that fire anyway? It would have been the ranch worker who was putting the milk shipments together at the time. It was almost certainly him. You really want to ask about his little barbecue, you might just get your wish soon. Doesn't sound like it was very appetizing. But without anything concrete to pin on him, he'll just be able to brush it off. I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. How did I find the ROM for this game? I told a friend of mine about it and they want to try it. On Twitter I found it. Who made it exactly? Hold on. They have a link to the ROM that you can do. 1 second. I think if you look up Hero of LOL, it should come up too. I think they have a YouTube video. Here, I actually will send you the trailer. It's in the link to it is in the trailer. Here you go. No prob. Right? And she allowed you to present it. Well, I was the one who found it, and since I was going to the trial anyway. Utter ridiculousness. Yes. Please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Also, I think it'll tell you what ROMs or like what emulators it's compatible with, I think. I'm using Rosalie's Muppin. Oh my god, wait, I'm just writing it out. I cannot print English today. This is the emulator I'm using. And it works pretty good on this one. Yeah, if they want to know what emulator like I'm using for it, I think this is the only one where I was able to easily like download it and set it up. Because, you know, I just downloaded like a emulation of Ocarina of Time and then I downloaded the ROM and you just like modify it or ROM it over. Whatever, however you say it. Yes, please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedures exist for a reason. Yes, I understand. Defense, I believe that is enough. It doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finding a connection between this fire and the crime at all. Ugh. No, I suppose not, Your Honor. Naturally. I've said this was a waste of time from the beginning. In that case, this cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us? No, I do not. I really thought the fire would be important. Leave my sight. Enough. Your Highness, if you allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle. Very well. Now that Princess's little game is over, we should move along. The prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. We maintain the evidence on this own is enough to convince the defendant. Convict the defendant. I do believe I am nearly ready to hand down my verdict. No, you ain't, Judge. That's cool. I love this kind of mod. Takes something no one expected and makes it work. Yeah. Really great. But, Your Honor, there's nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There is no way she could kill her own father. Ah, that is an excellent point, defense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Parricide is not something a person commits lightly. Ah, I did briefly touch on the subject during my opening statement, but naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. I would like to call in my third witness. That has to be that ranch worker. Before calling him in, though, the prosecution requests a brief reset. Prepare. Oh, you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well. I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned. March 17th, 11:17 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court. Defendant Lobby number 3. It's not going all that well, is it? No, I think that went about as well as it could have, actually, given the circumstances. We exposed the worst of the princess's testimony as untrue. Ugh, I can't believe she just makes stuff up like that. Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument. If only there was anyone else in that house. Now, there is no need to look so glum. Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back? The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You'd really managed to make Dragmire furious, you know. I have? If you listen carefully, you might just be able to hear him ranting over in the prosecutor's lobby. You can hear him going "Choya" in the background. So funny. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try to shut you down as fast as he can. Well, that would be worrying if I had anything he could shut down in the first place, I guess. Oh? But you do. What do you mean? Oh, come on. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. Fire? I wasn't able to do anything with that. Really think it's relevant? Don't get me wrong, as present, I am convinced the girl did it. We investigated and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I am willing to explore every possibility. That fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it may be your only way out of this. If I may be so bold, I think you should press the next witness on the topic card. As the only other person working on the ranch at the time, he is the only one who could have lit that fire. If he is hiding something, I think the court deserves to know. Thing is, the next testimony about the motive, it's going to be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire's objecting. We'll have to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There isn't a whole lot else to go. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing. You? Girl. Me? Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I am sure she was acting with the best of intentions. You know the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right? Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment, one she will live to. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of a heir very suddenly. That's right, the mysterious death of the firstborn Princess Zelda. Oh. Hyrule still grieves after the events of that day, and yet no one knows what exactly happened. In void of information, conspiracy theories ran amok, people blaming the royal guard, the Sheikah, and even the king himself. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of troubles on her shoulders. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today probably won't help with the distrust some people have of the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years. She will learn, and she will be better. I simply ask that you do not think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this trial. She does not need more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense. I never expect to see Impa to get so emotional. I guess all this is why she decided to take the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation. Detective Impa. What is it, soldier? I am quite busy at the moment, so please be quick. The investigation team back at the ranch has just sent word of a new development. Something about a milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of a wrong receipt address? They're asking you to come over to see it. Oh, the idiots. I do not have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle. Roger. It did remind me, though. I took this bottle of milk from a couple guards who were slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll help calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry. It's still unopened. Oh. Thank you. That's nice of her. Too bad for those guards, though. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you'll excuse me. Cannon did it, yeah. I think I'm so nervous right now. Milk has just lost its flavor. Huh? Lost its flavor? The Lon Lon milk is always so tasty. Are you sure it's just nerves? Let me try some. It's poison! No, you're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments? Probably. With the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't be any today, so... Maybe it just isn't fresh? No, I don't think so. It really tastes as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipment was misaddressed, didn't he? And this was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. Better make some notes about this in the court record. Vance, the court is about to reconvene. Escort your client back to the courtroom at once. How long will this take me? I don't know, actually. So it comes down to this. Luigi did it. The conclusion's approaching. Time to turn the situation around. I mean, like, it has to be Ingo, because, you know. Ingo hates Talon in the game, you know? Court is back in session for the trial of Malon of Lon Lon Ranch. I trust that the prosecution's final witness is ready? Naturally. I have personally seen to it that there will be no foolishness this time around. Hopefully his ears are intact. As we discussed before the recess, having established the opportunity and means for the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains. The matter of motive. For naturally, such a heinous crime couldn't be heinous crime couldn't be the result of the mere happenstance. Prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to the... Again, this is so good. They rescued an already dead guy. Our next witness can shed light on that matter. Fascinating. Very well. Please proceed. Prosecution calls the ranch worker Ingo to the stand. Guys, sauce! Ah, it's funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes. Oh? Yeah, he almost always wears his worker, dungarees. It's almost like looking at a different person. Well, I guess he wanted to dress up for court, and he wouldn't want to get this nice outfit dirty by working in it. Quiet defense. Witness, state your name and occupation. Your Honor. Great honorable prosecutor. My name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch. Mind? What does that entail exactly? I mostly work... I'm mostly there to work on the the structures and equipment. The owner and his daughter are the ones who tend to the animals and take care of orders. How long have you been working at the ranch? I'll be several years at this point. There has been others who came and went, but I, Ingo, have persevered through all the hardships. Sounds like he wants a medal for it. Well, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Mr. Ingo really is a great help. That's not Ingo, that's the circus guy from Majora's Mask. He built the ranch Sicilio single-handedly. Whoa, that's some dedication. Very well. Given that you're clearly an important employee, you are privy to some inside information, is that correct? Yes. The ranch owner shared big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say that we are like a big family. That sounds lovely. That sounds like a red flag that you're going to be getting loads of unpaid overtime. Evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt the same way, though, did it? It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, honorable court of law. Guys, I'm not good at doing voices, but I can at least do a southern accent. A matter of motive. Just a couple of days ago, the owner, Talon, hardly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malon. Talon became a life-tenant with Malon, meant to inherit all the assets after his death. As long as Talon lived, Malon could not sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch blight behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is, after all Talon did for her. And there you have it. Testimony from a man who just lost everything. It's truly tragic to witness yet another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence, and we have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime, and now we have a motive. How do we know he's telling the truth? Have I ever seen the Amanda Show? Yes. Bah! I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown Notary Office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare this for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence. Let me see that shit. Ellen will inherit the ranch if she is unable to divide the deed between the crown and the remaining employees. Mr. Ingo, why would you? You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense has nothing. I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few more details I feel are relevant. But of course, ask whatever you like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it. Southern accent reminds you of a hillbilly moment? Oh. Very well, defense. Begin. Please begin. How long ago was this exactly? 3-4 days. I'm not sure of the exact date. Had it been planned for a long time? Talon was getting on in years. Better to take care of the matter sooner than later, eh? Talon? He is telling the truth. Father scheduled a visit to the notary office about a week ago. What do you mean by partly, witness? So Malon hadn't become the ranch owner yet? Why, of course not. Haven't you heard all the stories making rounds recently? So many ungrateful brats throwing their old folks into retirement homes and the moment ownership's signed to them. Alan was no fool. I myself convinced him that it was the safer option. If the girl was up to some chicanery, what is that word? You could always revert his decision. That's horrible. I'd never do that. Oh, my southern accent is slipping the mail on. I mean, she guessed she should be southern, right? As much as I'd like to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they put a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself. I must concur, the younger generation is horrible. Why did he look at me while saying that? Anyway, what that means was... But why would Malon want to sell the ranch right now? Why wouldn't she want to? Why would a pretty little girl like her want to work on some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better if she sold the old place and used the money to move to Castletown. That's not true. I love working with the animals. I wouldn't leave them for anything. Why? She's often slacking on the job, while I, the hard-working Ingo, have to cover for her. I guess the Deku nut doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. That Talon loved to sleep on the job, too. Oh, I do recall quite a funny story about the Lon Lon ranch owner blocking the side entrance to Hyrule Castle on the entire day once. The guards couldn't wake him up. Took a particularly vocal cuckoo, apparently. Ah, jeez. Well, there you go. I am a real reason why the ranch is such renown. Me and the hard-working Ingo. Link, that's not true at all. I know. But how do I stop this? Do you really— oh, I almost gave Link the southern accent. Do you really think Malon would go that far? Oh, I don't want to think about it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they? Why wouldn't she just wait a few more years then? Malon was getting older. Perhaps she knew more and more work would be piling on her. But really, how am I supposed to know? Ask her! That's alright. Well, if Malon didn't want to work, wouldn't she have done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she'd still inherit the ranch. That's where you're wrong. For a long while, Talon planned to split the ranch between the girl and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much those horses meant to the royal guard. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now. Is this true? Yes. Father's previous inheritance document did work that way. How admirable. I guess familial bonds won over his drive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame. Yes. Naturally, the girl wanted the whole thing, so she bided her time. I think this is sufficiently explains the timing. Let's continue, shall we? Wait just a moment. There's one more problem with the timing that I'd like the witness to explain. Why would Malon have planned the murder for the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people around means more witnesses. You'd think she would have chosen any other day. Oh, I did forget to mention this. I overheard Talon arguing with her that very morning. He was telling her he'd changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he'd been signing the ranch over to the crown. After the visitation was over, he headed to the Castletown to change the inheritance back to the original split. What? That's not true. Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it would appear he did make the right choice in the end. And because of that choice, if the defendant wanted to get to the ranch, he had no time to waste that day. Is this true too? Absolutely not. Father wasn't planning to do that, and there was no argument either. What to do about this argument then? Add it to the testimony? Yeah, add it to the testimony. There was an argument about the inheritance? That sounds like an important fact to me. The defense requested to be added to the testimony. Very well. Witness, please do so. I'd be happy to, Your Honor. She looks pissed at Link for even considering, I know. So we know they're not arguing about their inheritance. He went to Castletown to get the perfume for the princess. About what time did this happen? First thing in the morning, I was heading out to the stilo to start the day's work. I just walked out front door of the ranch house when I heard some yelling erupt behind me. Do you remember any specifics about what was said? Oh yes, it surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. It was like, I'm really sorry, man. Well, with the most important thing is to make sure the king will always have a steady supply of quality horses. I don't care. What about me, father? How can you do this to me?
Malon, this is just about you. This isn't just about you, it's what's good for the entire kingdom.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't move up a knife if I'm stuck on this dump of a ranch forever.
I thought you loved the ranch. All the animals are here and Ingo's always ran to help with the chores too. He's pretty great, isn't he?
Yeah, Ingo's awesome, but I still hate you for this. This isn't over. What a stirring reenactment. I will keep my thoughts on the witness's acting skills to myself. There's no way this actually happened though. Malin would never want to sell the ranch. Well, of course she'd say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she's under suspicion for murder. We can't trust a thing she says. Well, I trust her, but the judge probably doesn't right now, and that's unfortunately what matters. Do I have anything in the court record to refute this story? You ask me, this whole inheritance issue could have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In Gerudo Desert, there would be no question that the fortress may seize whatever it desires. That's just messed up. No matter. Continue your testimony, farmhand. Share with us the true nature of the defendant. No, you hold it. That man gave everything for her. She's gone so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at that golden necklace she's wearing. That man spoiled her rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the very day he was killed. Another gift? Why yes, a little bottle of perfume, I believe. It's horrible. Alan was such a kind man. What happened to him is despicable. That last statement important? Yes. Your Honor, the defense wishes to add the statement about the perfume to the testimony. Ah! What are you doing? Trying to implicate the defendant even harder? I think it's an important detail. Perfume is irrelevant, but I suppose the prosecution has no objections to strengthening our case. Very well, witness. Please add what you just said to your testimony. Alan brought Malon gifts. I saw the latest one. Some kind of perfume, I think. Yeah, but that was bought for the princess. Witness. What is it? Just to confirm, you said that this bottle of perfume was brought for Malon by her father, correct? What else would it be for? I assure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes, far from it. Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. This bottle of perfume was bought for the princess. Man's dead and you're just gonna call him stinky? So what, defense? Sure, it's technically a contradiction, but what does the purpose of this bottle change? Yes, defense, I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important. Earlier in the trial, Malon mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malon? It sure is. He had a gift for the king prepared, and when the news arrived that it would actually be the princess making this visitation, Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift. This info puts one thing into question. Talon's taste in gifts, somebody's movements, somebody's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt. Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting then, defense. Who is this person? Naturally, the person whose movements become suspect is... Ooh, Mr. Ingo. Oh. The witness himself. If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which had just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. a crime scene the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle. Ah! Order! Order! The defense raises a valid, very valid point. You simpleton! What is the meaning of this? Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point? No! Of course I didn't. I was working in the stillo all day. I remember. I saw the gift the day before the crime. The girl was lying. Alan must have gotten the gift the day before. You're the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day. One's words against another's. Defense. Do you have any way to prove that your version of the events is true? Ask at the store. Find the receipt. Smell the perfume. I mean, either one of these. Ask at the store, find the receipt. When you buy something, you usually get a receipt, and the receipt always shows the date of the purchase. It might still be at the rancher's house. I say we send someone out to look for it. Father never throws receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The perfume one should be right on top. I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt. Your Honor. Yes? What is it, soldier? We have just received the receipt. Oh my god. We have just received the receipt. Saw the saw, and received the receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene. Very well, thank you. I shall now read it out. There's a lot riding on this. From Tingle's mysterious smells. Dear Lord. Ah, yes. I think I've seen that store. It's that eccentric-looking place in the back alley. You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. It's an utter eyesore. The gall of this nobody running a monopoly on Hylian perfume is preposterous. Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand. The nerve of that dunderhead! Why would anyone ever shop at a store where the owner calls every other customer a fairy? Prosecutor? And the balloons! Oh, the balloons! That fool popped one right in my face! Prosecutor Dragmire, enough! Continuing on. Purchased item, 1 bottle of Rosy Rupee Land. Oh my! This is quite the price! Why, I would have to... Your Honor, please! The date of the purchase? Ah, yes, right. Date of the purchase. Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder! Does she sell seashells by the seashore? Oh god, Tingle, send Tingle to the gallows? No, he didn't do anything wrong, he just sold perfume! Ah! Order, order! Yes, we got him! Oh, I think we're finally getting somewhere. Ah, this still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house for something and saw the bottle then. Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then. Oh, come on. You think we're gonna believe that? Do you have any proof that he didn't? Well, I believe this calls for further testimony, as the witness now claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder. We should learn of his exact motives that day. Movements that day. Ah, my movements? Well, alright. There's not a whole lot to say it, though. The hammer having one of the medallion patterns on it is funny. Yeah, even the attorney's badge is a medallion. It's really cool. It's unfortunate that he managed to weasel out of that. But this next testimony will be full of lies. This is my chance. My non-suspicious movements. As was already stated, I had volunteered to work in the stillo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the stillo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective one fine woman. See, I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you brat. I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly. Thank you for the follow. Alright. What were you doing? Working on shipments and fulfilling orders. He sent out crates of milk to milk bars all across the kingdom every day, you know. Milk bars? Naturally, everyone loves a good drink, you know. Hello, welcome in. We're playing a ROM version of Ocarina of Time called Hero of Law. It's basically based on Ace Attorney. We're trying to solve the murder of Talon. Welcome in. We're actually doing an entire, since your name is Zelda Gamer, we're actually doing an entire, Zelda Zummer, I'm calling it, where I just play a bunch of Zelda games all summer. We're gonna be playing, Link's Awakening next, soon, but I wanted to play this because it looked fun. Our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some of other waters there's down. Despicable. I see. I think you said earlier that your job is to work on structures and equipment, though. Indeed. Talon and the girl would usually be the ones overseeing milk orders. However, since the royal visitation was happening that day, I felt they needed their minds unoccupied, so I took it upon myself to do it this time. After the murder, I got scared that the Chico's Force investigation would delay the shipment, and that I, the Great Ingo, would get the blame. Thankfully, it all went through fine. Yeah, and you were so concerned with sending it off quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it. Bah, you Hylians, ridiculous. Getting tipsy from something like milk? Bet you couldn't handle even a sip of Gerudo's noble pursuit, a real man's drink. A real man's drink? Aren't most of the Gerudo women? Speaking of drinks, I believe the witness was talking about how he had gotten himself a glass of water? Yes, of course. Moving all that heavy stuff around works up a sweat, you see? I got very thirsty and... You didn't think to just take a sip of the milk you were handling? No. It wouldn't be right. That milk was for the customers, you see. I just didn't want to get into any trouble. Kidding races on the stand bowl strategy? Gypsy, have you ever played the Great Ace Attorney? A truly honest man. How dare you suggest he would steal from his own workplace? Right. So, what did you see at the house? Nothing much. I got my drink and left. Still had a lot of work to do, you see. Do people get racist? So, the time period that Great Ace Attorney takes like place in the is it the 1900s? Well, whatever. It takes place in very like early time Japan. I don't know I forget what time exactly, what time period, but the prosecutor, he's racist. Yeah. He is. I mean, basically it's like you're coming from Japan to England, for reasons for spoil. Edo period. I forget. I would have to look it up, but I can actually look it up real quick. Time period is the time period. Does Great Ace Attorney take place? Let's see. 19th century. Okay, I was right. It's the 19th century. During Japan's Meiji period, at the beginning of the 20th century and the late 19th century. Okay, makes sense. But not Edo, sorry. But yeah, like, you're basically like, you're Ryunosuke, you're from Japan, you come to England, kind of like as an exchange kind of thing. And the prosecutor, the original translation, he does not call the Japanese very nice things. Smiley face. But yeah, in the original Japanese version, when they translated over in English, they obviously like censored the words, but like he still kind of like implies the things that he is saying in other words. It's a really good game though. I think it's a fantastic game. So if you ever like really into Ace Attorney, play Great Ace Attorney. I mean, yeah, it has Sherlock Holmes, my favorite character in the game, but you know, play it. It's really good. It's a really good story. Nothing much. I got a drink and left. Still had a lot of work to do, you see. I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. In fact, yes, I remember clearly now. It was there on the table, plain as day. Mwahaha. Great. What happened after that, witness? And you were able to complete this so quickly on your own? Bah, you don't know the might of the great Ingo. I get things done in no time. I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the stilo though. There was so many, all so heavy. It was like a puzzle in there. Anyway, that's not important. The point is... Are you sure? Sure can be. Muhaha. You never went back in, even after the crime was discovered? Bah! They wouldn't let me in. Preserving the crime scene or some such, I couldn't even get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I was to sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible. Is that what he's saying important? I think so. Your Honor, I would like the witness to add his last statement to his testimony. What? What are you trying to pull now? Very well. Witness, please amend your statement. Yeah, fine, whatever. Even get sleep to access my own belongings. Spend the night in the stables. Ah! Ah, got you now. Oh. We gotta press him probably first. The ranch tour is that's what I mean. On the other hand, certain attorneys definitely are, which is entirely meaningless. You're walking to the store in the rain? Why? Couldn't you have stayed at an inn? Bah, what am I, made of money? Think, boy, I'm just a simple ranch worker, you know? Ugh, you lawyers always flaunting your wealth. Right. Sorry. Not actually sorry. I doubt one night would bankrupt this guy. Just look at what he's wearing. Alan threw you under the bus, I know. Could you elaborate? She's a hard-working woman who gets to the point, takes what she wants. Not to mention her impeccable fashion sense. What's not to love? That's not the part I wanted him to elaborate on. Wow, he seems totally smitten with her. Sure does. I wonder how Impa feels about it. Perhaps, when this chore of a trial is over, I could... But no, it will have to wait. You thought you could distract me, did you? I, the genius ranch worker Ingo, stays through your schemes. He's sticking to that story, huh? Yeah, it was a desperate fix, but it holds up surprisingly well. I can hardly believe this is the same Mr. Ingo I know. He's usually so nice. It's time to press for more details. Sure to slip up somewhere. There has to be a piece of evidence or a profile waiting to disprove what he's saying. No, that wasn't it. Evidence reveals clear cut. I know it's the bottle's gotta be something. And console? What's this? Why would Ingo even try to return to the ranch house if he knew there'd be a murder there? Well, I don't imagine he had any other place to sleep. Father let him move in with us when he was tired, so he wouldn't have to spend the money on rent. Really, he didn't expect to be able to sleep in an active crime investigation scene, though. Huh. Well, it's not just that. All of Mr. Ingo's belongings are in that house. All of them, huh? It would be so easy to prove he went back to the scene if he just had something on him right now. He shouldn't. Maybe I should check his profile to make sure we haven't missed anything. Hey, speaking of profiles, do you remember you can present those during cross-examination? Just making sure. Right. Sometimes the best evidence is a person. Oh, okay, so it is a person. Got this, Link. Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony. Okay. Well, what? What are you talking about? You say you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? The ranch house you were not allowed to go in? That's right? Well, that would imply you should be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all. Ah! The defense has a point. The witness appears pretty well dressed for court. Can't imagine he would want to sully those clothes during work. Well, what do you have to say to that? Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah. On my way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum. Moo ho ho ho. Yes, defense. Certain people have a modicum? What the fuck is the word? Hello. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. This is the guy wearing body armor in a suit. True. But welcome in. I'm playing a ROM version of Ocarina of Time. Let me give you a shout out. Unless Cyber beats me to it. What were you doing? What were you up to? Now you're playing Oracle Seasons. How was that? I am playing a bunch of different Zelda games for the Zummer. But I decided to take a pause, and we're doing Hero of Law. I've been working on playing all the Zelda games in order. Nice. You've been lurking during my Zummer stream sometimes? Oh, Nice. Well, I'm glad that you've been enjoying them. I'm glad, because I enjoy doing them. So I'm glad that you're trying them all in order. So you probably played, oh gosh, you played probably Zelda 2 already, and Zelda 1, Link to the Past, and the Oracle games, and probably Awakening. Okay. You have one that you like the most so far? Oh, he is wearing the Zora suit, confirmed. I wasn't sure they were gonna like confirm what suit he was wearing. What's that supposed to mean? This is my finest Zora suit. You always liked Link to the Past, so probably that. Nice, nice. I have never played Link to the Past. But one day I will. One day. It's like on my list, obviously, to play it, but like I think Link to the Past, Zelda 2, and the Oracle games were the only ones oh, and Spirit Tracks were the only ones I hadn't played before. I think. Before I started the Zelda Zummer thing. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be excited if I get to play it. Be very excited. You claim you bought these clothes after the crime? Is that correct? Never played the Oracle games or Zelda 2 either. Zelda 2 was certainly a time. Yeah. It's something. I don't know what they were thinking, but you know what? It was a game. That's all we could say. It was a Zelda game. Well, if you're playing all the Zelda games, you gotta make sure you play the CDI games at some point. Like, it's just, you gotta. you gotta play CDI Zelda at least once. Okay, Cyber, I did the shouties. You play all the mainlines games to start? Maybe CDI, you know, that could do that for like the grand finale, you know, it's like this is the most critically acclaimed Zelda game. Open it. It's like, oh boy, I'm so hungry. I can eat. Oh, I missed that. This morning, in fact, why do I repeat myself? I accept that explanation. I mean, I feel like no, we shouldn't.
Oh boy, I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok.
I could eat an Octorok. Yeah, he does look great. I like his look. Hmm. You like his fit? Yeah. Yeah, if you gotta do any post-stream recovery stuff, no worries. I appreciate the raid as always. We'll be playing Zelda for a bit. I started early today because I gotta do something later, but I wanted to check this out as my little intermission between Zelda games. Yeah. I have to. Vince accepts this explanation. This farce of a trial is about to come to a long-delayed conclusion. Now that the ranch workers' testimony has been accepted by both the prosecution and the defense, it is time to announce the verdict. Wait, what? Very well. In this case, I declare the defendant. So I. Hold on. Rag. Or actually, can I reconsider my stance in the witness? I thought we had to! Let's get some dinner. Yes, I'll leave a lurk. Enjoy. Yes, thank you. You waste the court's valuable time with the circus act. Okay, so I can't accept it now. The defense witness has explained this, but problem? Naturally. You buying those clothes today is simply impossible. What? I kind of like wasn't paying attention, so that's why I was just like, wait. What? Oh. And how can you claim so? Defense, as you know, evidence is everything in court. Either prove the witness couldn't have brought these clothes today. Get out. Oh god. I am so sorry. Whoops. That was my dog. He scared the shit. I jumped like 20 feet. If the witness couldn't have bought these clothes today. When did he die? It was after the crime. Apparently the milk shipment was returned to the ranch. This? Here's couldn't have brought the clothes. Wrong. Thank you for the hydrate. Evidence court. Okay. Oh wait. Yes! Okay. I was like, wait, we have a picture of him, don't we? I'd like to turn the court's attention to this. Ah. Why is this one lovely pictograph? Ah, it reminds me of the... You cut me off, you bastard! Smooth the fishing... Okay. What is this pictograph, defense? Well, I just look at what Ingo is wearing. Photo is from Alan's childhood, but Ingo is very clearly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today! Gah! Order! I have order! Why, the defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness has a good explanation for this. No. There. I think we finally got him. No way he can weasel out of it this time. Objection. Oh. One weasels out of it for him. Ah, isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear his nice clothes for the royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He brought them to the Stillo in advance so that he could quickly change just before the royal visitation's arrival. Ow. Oh ho! Oh ho ho! Yes, of course! I needed to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. That would mean he knew of the murder. Wait a minute, this is insane! What kind of kangaroo court is this? The prosecution keeps making excuses up on the spot. Ingo was clearly lying about buying those clothes before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant perjury. Accept it, Judge. There can be no other explanation. The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible. What? However, the fact that the witness didn't simply say it himself and instead made up a lie about buying the clothes is indeed very suspicious. Defense? The prosecution has posed that there is no other possible explanation for this contradiction. Gypsy, you're getting so heated. I love that you're getting so heated about this. You see, he didn't have money to stay at a motel but couldn't buy a whole ass suit. The judges know this fucking stupid. What is your opinion on this matter? Can the defense think an alternative version of events? This is big. I really need to think this through. Ingo is acting really suspicious right now, desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real movements. Why would he be doing that? Ingo has a wardrobe at the Stillo. Ingo is the murderer! If it's not Malon, Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did, if I want to think Malon is innocent. With that in mind, why would Ingo change out of his work clothes? What happened to make it necessary? They got dirty, Talon's blood got on them. They were eaten by a cow. They got Talon's blood on them. When did Ingo kill Talon? When Ingo killed Talon, his clothes must have gone blood on them. He had to change into something else to hide his involvement. But then, wouldn't the Sheikah force have found the clothes in the house? How could they have disappeared? They were stolen, they were thrown in a fire. This is actually pretty awesome, the scene. That's really cool. Ingo burned his clothes. That's it. This explains everything. I believe I can offer an alternative explanation. Nonsense. Judge, the defense spent far too long sitting in silence just now. They clearly have nothing. I call for a quick ruling. And not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder. No! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit and why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since is because he got stained with the victim's blood. Preposterous! If there were any discarded bloody clothes nearby, the Sheikah force would have found them, and we would be trying someone else for murder right now. Why, you are absolutely correct, prosecutor. Naturally, Ingo couldn't have left his bloody clothes lying around. And so he used this to dispose of them. Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony. The princess's... that mysterious fire. Surely you jest. You yourself made sure we all knew how meaningless her testimony was. And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned out fire? Ingo used the lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and then tried to hide it. This is... No! Hold on. What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible. Hello, Oka-san. Oh, we're getting thrown to another fucking testimony. Okay, too busy for murder. Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I just couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. Stop trying to pin this on poor innocent Ingo. Now, I shouldn't have to remind you, Defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete the shipment. Adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous. That's right, the great Ingo is efficient at his job, but not that efficient. No, it had been him. There must be some trick at play here. Some kind of shortcut. I must find it. I have food. I'm gonna grab my food. Really quick. Alright. Have food. Everything you've said is wrong. No idea what you're on about. Press! Surely my scenario is more plausible at this point than these panicked attempts to fix your story. What's more plausible isn't for you to decide, Defense. It's the judge that makes the final call. As long as this alibi stands, you can't imagine him siding with you. Yes, all of the loose ends have been tied up before a decision can be made. Witness, please continue. The music's really good here. Can you explain what that alibi is again? With pleasure. At the time of the crime, I was busy preparing the day's shipment of milk. That's hard work. We barely had enough time to get them done before the courier came to take them. Shipments were inspected by the Sheikah force as they were leaving the ranch. And as our resident detective has told us, they were found to be fully loaded up with bottles of milk. Yeah, milk that tasted disgusting. That's right, the Sheikah force itself has vouched for me. There's no way I could be the culprit. Oh, I disagree. There has to be a way. There must be. We've completed their milk shipments. You really have taken that long to murder someone and burn some clothes? definitely would have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme infeasible. Infeasible? Completing all these shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour the milk into them, put them in the crates, and load them into the wagon. I love working with the cows. That part takes the longest because you have to get a little at a time. So Mr. Ingo said the whole thing really does take a while. Father and I usually have to work together to get it done in time for the courier's arrival. Here you go, Defense. Your own client knows this is the unshakable truth. Okay, so there's no way he could complete the shipments and also do the killing. In that case, there had to be some kind of way for him to finish the work faster. Just have to find it. You had enough time for breakfast, but not enough to kill someone? Yes, of course. The breakfast was cooking while I was kept working. Then I just quickly gobbled it up. Sorry, I'm like eating and reading. Very hungry. There's no issue there. In fact, yes, I remember it even burned a little bit because I wasn't completely paying attention to it. Why I had to go get that glass of water too, you see, and wash it down after. What a convenient little explanation. But for all I know, he actually did cook up a breakfast on a fire burning of bloodstained soaked clothes. Ew. Continue, witness. We don't want to hear about your culinary adventures. Of course. My point is just what I've been telling you this whole time. The only people who could have done this were you and Malon. And I know Malon well enough to know that she couldn't be the culprit. That leaves you as the perpetrator. Yes, by now we all know how much you value your friend. Let me remind you though, that feeling don't matter at all here. Either show us solid evidence that puts Ingo's alibi into question or concede defeat. Is there any way he could have done the work faster? I'm not sure. It would be nice if there was though. But I could sleep a little longer every day. Yeah, you'd think he would have shared it with you if he knew of one. Just what shortcut did you use, Ingo? Because he used an older thing. Witness. What is it now? I overheard an intriguing detail during the last recess. It seems the address on one of It seems the address on one of yesterday's milk shipments wasn't written correctly. You must have been rushing. That's how you did it. Bah! I haven't heard anything about an issue with the shipment address. But I'll play along. Suppose you're right about it. Writing an address only takes a few seconds. Even if it was reduced to a single swift stroke of the pen, it wouldn't have saved much time at all. Certainly not enough to both commit a murder and cover it up. It wasn't just the address. Ingo must have rushed the entire shipment. But by what method? You say he somehow completed the entire shipment more quickly? And prove it was evidence. Fortunately for you, Defense, I must agree with the good prosecutor. This alone doesn't prove how enough time may have been saved. Don't you have anything else? Thought I had him for sure. It looks like I'll need something stronger to really pin him down. I guess this? Yeah. Music stopped. Every time the music stopped, I'm like, I got it right. Ah, did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly? Friends, I shouldn't have to remind you that the Sheikah Force boxed thoroughly. Definitely full of milk bottles. Okay, but did you try the milk again indoors? Right, so I eat my fries. Oh, I'm sure it looked that way. What are you getting at, Defense? There you go, Your Honor. Huh? Milk for me? Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this. Oh, it's nothing like that. I'm asking that His Honor try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. Just one little itty bitty sip. This is highly irregular. But to be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know. True. You probably talked the least out of everyone here, though. That is true. Alright. Since the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip. Is this what passes for milk these days? This almost tastes like water. Water? I have to agree. This definitely is not standard milk. As we heard from the princess and the detective, Lamlam Ranches were known for the quality of its products. There's no way people would say that about milk this lousy. Ugh, whatever. As if unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage. Where are you going with this defense? It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. As we know, there were no milk shipments today, so they must have come from one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday. It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also completed the shipments on his own, unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order! Yes, I suppose that would work. Indeed. All he had to do is milk fewer of the cows. Save enough time without ruining the taste too much. I guess he used about 50-50 split of milk and water. Or water and milk. This is no! Alan! Let me stop you right there. I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment. But all you have proven is that Ingo is a slacker. How dare you! Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it? Well, no. But now we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well. Yet there's a vital element missing still. Let me put it in simple terms, so even an idiot like you can understand. Rebutal. A murder weapon. You lack the murder weapon. If Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw. Oh. And why is that? It's simple. If the girl's story about working on the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It couldn't have been in two places at the same time. I agree with this. Yes. I believe we're in complete agreement on this point. You do realize the problems that creates for you, right? I'm sure it can all be explained. As if. But very well. Then let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either. You lack the murder weapon. Okay. Where would the supposed other murder weapon have even come from? Couldn't he have used any old thing? Either answer the question defense or this discussion is over. No need to overthink this. Anywhere Ingo could have gotten a weapon from will do. I'll worry about the exact details later. Have you forgotten this murder happened on a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on site. Oh ho. That's simply impossible. We checked all sharp objects on the ranch and searched everyone. No fresh blood was found anywhere else. Couldn't Ingo have just hidden it, disposed of it, wiped it off? Couldn't could have. Hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to eat my food before it gets cold. Because it is getting kind of cold. He could have disposed of it. Let me see what he... Because really, he could have used... Trying to think of like... Would he have hidden it? But where? Disposed of it? Couldn't Ingo have just disposed of it in some way? It's impossible, you see. No item from the ranch's inventory list were missing, and that list is indisputable. My dinner is Chick-fil-A. How can you be so sure the inventory is accurate? Bah, use your head. There was a royal visitation scheduled for that day. The ranch owner needed everything to be in order. He would have double, even triple checked that list when he wrote it. I suppose he would have, but... But it was Ingo that signed up on it. Inventory list itself is false. Oh? Falsifying. Fascinating. What exactly makes you question the verticality, vertice of this document? That would be another piece of evidence. Something about the inventory, it's simple. You need only a brief look at the inventory to see it can't be trusted. Oh ho. You can't just go around making such general statements, defense. Point out what exactly about the inventory makes it suspect. Just look here. The one who compiled this list was Ingo himself. He could have easily falsified the counts as part of his plan. Ugh. Back with food? I'm eating food too. That doesn't matter. Or in a reveal? Nothing could have left the ranch? Couldn't Ingo have been able to just throw the items over the fence? Obviously, we searched the perimeter of the ranch as well. Nothing was found anywhere. Are you really sure nothing left the ranch? What about a few little shipments of milk? Preposterous. Have you forgotten that said shipments had been checked by the Sheikah force before they were allowed to leave? That's true, but there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked. What in Din's name are you babbling about? We're talking about bog standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies to stuff things into, are they? Where could they have missed a murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the contents of the crate, the contents of the bottle. Crates themselves. The contents of the bottle? There's one place inside the crates that the Sheikahs couldn't have checked thoroughly without ruining the shipments. Without ruining the shipments? That's right. Ingo put the murder weapon inside one of the bottles, concealed it from the search. That does seem plausible. Now wait just a moment. Now they could have left the ranch. Boom. A weapon in a milk bottle wouldn't just go unnoticed. Someone would have reported it. How can you be so sure? Do you even know how much milk an average milk bar uses each day? All those shipments must have certainly been completely used up by now. Someone drinking from that bottle would have found it for sure, choked on it even, if they took too large of a swig. It would be a huge scandal. Well, he's right about that, but he's missing some vital information. You would be correct that a weapon showing up in someone's milkshake could cause quite a stir. If the milk ever actually made it to any milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch not long ago that one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. What? No! Why is it dark? Because we're doing a rebuttal. The power went out, I mean. A rebuttal. But yeah, the lights went out, actually. Actually? No. I think I was the one who handled all of that. Now that's strange. The ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if he had messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled in it that badly? It's almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving a bottle of milk with a murder weapon in it. You need mood lighting, exactly. I bet Ingo expected this box to stay in shipping limbo a while longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it'd start to smell? I believe this calls for us to investigate these boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes retrieved from the ranch. Have these boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. Nice, I got all my health back. This is slander. Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead? The motive? That's simple. Why, I'm surprised you're even asking about it. This evidence easily explains your motive. The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the testator's death, his daughter Malin of Lanlan Ranch will inherit the ranch, unless she is unable to oversee it, in which case it shall be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Ah! What? You not only killed Talon, but decided to frame Malon for the crime as well, so you would be the one to inherit part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work in the still all day. It gave you an alibi so that Malon would be the only possible culprit. Of course you knew about the royal visitation in advance. You knew Malon would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body. No, no, no! What are you talking about? Talon signed the ranch over to me? Preposterous. Did he really not know? I guess it was Dragmire who procured the actual document, not him. Your Honor. What is it, soldier? The box you requested is here. Already? It was quite fast. Apparently the team at the ranch had already noticed something wary with it on their own. The box arrived just as we were about to rush about a courier to deliver our message. Well, well, well. Let's see for ourselves then, shall we? Part of the shipment that proves my case is... Here it is, from the bottle with a slightly red tint to the milk. Like some kind of serrated knife. Explains the irregular wound pretty nicely. How could those Sheikah idiots have missed this? I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, this proves my theory right. Brr. Oh, I've had it. Fine, fine. You wanna know why? Wanna know why I really killed that scumbag? Oh no, what are you? So you admit it? A rye, thank you. Oh, it's the Lon Lon Ranch theme. Yes, I admit it. What would you do if one day, after years of backbreaking labor, despite putting all your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish, without any reason, fired? Farewell, we don't need you anymore. What? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, don't lie, I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrecking work, and lo and behold, what's this? Talon and Talon are talking about behind my back. I heard it all. We're letting him go after the visitation. We can handle things without him. And so, after volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. Ah, you should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all. Oh yes, Malon, I killed that lazy bum you called father. And he deserved it. Order! A witness will cease his boasting over such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away. Just wait a moment. Ingo. Yes, girl. Want to apologize for what you've done? Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You completely misunderstood what we were saying. What? Bro, he murdered out of a misunderstanding. No way. We've had so much work recently. Well, you know how it goes with royal visits. Always a busy time. I make sure everything's in tip-top shape. I don't know who's talking. I do worry something about old Ingo, though. He's been complaining about his back recently. I do wish he'd take a step back and relax some. Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation? Waha. Now, there's the night. I'd do him good to get her out for a while. I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him. Bro, Bro murdered over. Shaking my head. Ah. You. You were planning what? Vacation? For me? I did. No. No, it can't be so. Please say it isn't so. We have witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstandings are not. What you have done is unforgivable. Alan was a kind man, beloved by all who had good fortune across his path. His loss will be felt not only at his ranch, but all across Hyrule. The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him. An utter idiot dressed like a clown. Oh, no. Jeez, he's really laying on to him. Bet he's just upset because he lost. The prosecution's rant aside, I think it is time to declare today's verdict. This is just a formality, but will the defendant please step up to the stand? Young miss, I am very sorry for the situation you have found yourself in. I am very glad you appear to have such a good attorney as a friend. I wouldn't have chosen anyone else. No, thanks. Now then, without further ado, in the name of the goddess Hylia and the sacred land of Hyrule, I hereby find Malon of the Lon Lon Ranch not guilty. He was willing to murder over getting fired. He was gonna snap sooner or later. True. Court is adjourned. No, I think he was executed. You would think he'd be executed by the chickens. March 17, 12:32 p.m. Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. We did it! Suppose so. I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood, huh? I don't think I can ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done. That's fair enough, honestly. Really, though, you shouldn't think about that for now. You're free. It's time to celebrate. I guess you're right. Excellent work. I knew you'd pull through. I think he was executed by the chickens, as you should, you mean? Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really, so thank you. Now, that's not quite right. If you want to thank someone, I'm not the one who deserves it the most. Huh? Your Highness? I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle. What strings did Impa have to pull to get her here? I was, but I realized I should apologize for what I did personally. It's an honor. Ah, there is no need to bow. Not after what I have done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably carted off to a prison alongside that angry little man. Jury is, pretty serious, so that's probably not entirely wrong. Ah, as usual, you don't give yourself enough credit, Your Highness. How can you say that, Detective? I almost commended an innocent person to prison. Yes, there are some things you should think twice about doing in the future. But it's all thanks to you that the young lady over here finally went free. Huh? Come on, attorney, show Her Highness what I'm talking about. A bottle? Well, that's true. Without this, and without knowing about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof of I can never say that word. Substantiate our claims. And really, your obviously false testimony helped us to. Youch! Impa just stepped on my foot. Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Malon isn't too upset. Perjury is rarely prosecuted. Like, if you get charged for it, you royally pissed off several people. Zelda both getting in the way and helping, yeah. Well, sure. And we have orders to escort the princess back to the castle immediately. Just in time. Farewell, your highness. And so they left. Now then, listen to me. I know I am perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can to lead the kingdom through them. She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions too, though. And she will. Huh? Her Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency with which she has been escorted out of here isn't coincidental. Okay, that's what is the king going to scold her? At the very least. Now then. My duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that I will be able to rely on you in the future court proceeding as well. I'll try my best. That's all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll be excusing myself post-haste. Farewell. Uh-oh. You! Hello. Nice day we're having, isn't it? Tell me, now, where did that blasted detective go? To have my reputation tarnished this way by some novice attorney from the boonies. Dramatic much? It looks like about ready to burst from anger. Don't be such a sore loser. You lost. Deal with it. Yeah, we got a right verdict. Doesn't that make you even a little bit glad? Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that. What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. I remember that it was the meddling of that idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led to your arrest. So if you have any grievances, take it up with them. I suppose there is some truth to what he's saying. Speaking of the detective, it appears she has fled from me like a cuckoo on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she's done for generations. Well, that sure was something. I don't know if he's being sincere or just wanted to shift blame onto someone else. I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. You think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself? Of course I'll come visit, but I have my attorney duties too. I'll get in touch with the castle, see if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. Silly as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day. He's taught me well. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, just as I always have. That's the spirit. I believe in you. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. If it wasn't for you, I don't think I ever want to think about what could have happened. Don't mention it. Just glad everything worked out in the end. Ganon's shit-eating grin is so good. So, ended a very personal case for me. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Malin continued working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I've lived for a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would soon shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. But that's a legend for another day. We did it! Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna add on to this ROM. So, if they do, I would be excited. That was fun. They closed the Great Berry Mountain. They did. They sealed her up. Oh no! Fuck's in jail with him. It's you? Are you tainting the water with your ramen? Oh my god, the cat is so cute. I just noticed that. Man was shouted so loud he rattled the credits, I know. Oh, Malon's grave. I mean, not Malon. I mean, Talon. Jesus. Malon's still alive. Hello, Cup. I'm, just finished this ROM. Special thanks to me for playing. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. This was fun, though. I just wanted to do, like, a little crit Malon dead, apparently. I mixed up their names. That's cool, though. I do hope that they add more. Eventually. Fun. Oh, there's an extra? Maybe we can do that in another. That's cool, though. Meanwhile, somewhere else. What is this? This is Ace Attorney but Zelda. This is the best thing ever that I was graced upon. I saw this on like Twitter and I was like, I gotta play this ROM. My two favorite things? Ace Attorney and Zelda? Oh, there's already gonna be a 999 game. Well, 999, but Somnium Files, the new game that's coming out is kind of like pseudo Zero Escape. Alright. Yeah, this was made this year. Its aura's too strong for me. Alright. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna raid out. Time to spin the wheel, guys. Maybe I'll do the extra next time I stream. Maybe I'll stream. I'll spin the not spin the wheel. Oh, maybe I'll play the extra, and then we could do like the rest art because I can't imagine that the extra will take that long, unless it does. But we'll see. Let's see. Who can we raid? Hello, Germa. Um, some kind of RPG? Like that. Roguelite sounds like Pokemon. Mario Galaxy. Pokemon. All the Germas are spawning. Oh wow, Games and Quickly is doing Mega Man Maker. That's cool. I always forget about that like Germa one, the Yippee one. Whenever I like actually see it on the screen, I'm like, what is this? This is so cursed. Sorry, I'm being indecisive. I'm being indecisive. Um, let's read Lacey. Oh, I'm trying to like drag the game over. There we go. What dark powers? Uh-oh, can you hear me now? Okay, I don't know how long I accidentally knocked my mic out, but I was saying I don't know when. Okay, I'm just gonna repeat what I said. I was looking for a street like 10 seconds. Okay, I was like, how much did I say? Okay. But yeah, I was looking for someone rating Lacey. What was I gonna say? Oh, thank you for the whole stream. I would die. Uh thank you for the raids. No, Reffy, it's okay. Okay. Sorry, Reffy. You were once muted for 51 minutes of the stream. Oh no. You know what a chat told you? Oh wait, oops. Oops, oops. I didn't mean to do that. Best 5 seconds of your night. I'm so glad. Well, we beat this mod ROM called Hero of Law. Basically, it's a Zelda ROM, but it's Ace Attorney. And it was very fun. Well, Refi, if you want, you can always look back at the VOD and check out. I think Cyber made like some clips I see. So, yeah, thank you for the raid again. We gotta follow. Yeah, thank you, Dawn and Olive. Thank you for the raids. I appreciate it. Have a great night, everyone. We're gonna say hi to Lacey. I've seen that she's been playing this RPG. I think it is. I've been lurking while she does it. Yeah. Guys, later. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. All right. Bye bye.